that my family actually got to see me singing with the Platters. It was 83, because I joined in 82. So I think it was either 83 or 84. We were performing in New York. Matter of fact, we performed twice in New York, so they got to see me 2 times. They got to see me in Manhattan at the Beacon Theater on West Broadway. Not the Beacon, yeah, the Beacon Theater? Yeah, the Beacon Theater, I'm sorry. I was so sure I forgot the name of the theater. It's been a while. And they also, we did one of those free concerts in the park where there was a few of the oldies, it was an oldies night. And so, the people could come out for free. So my family came out to that. I think I don't know, I can find some pictures somewhere with us, with them there. I know I got some somewhere. I should have looked for that and had that ready when I was doing this live. But my brothers, 3 of my brothers, and my mother came to see me, and they were excited, and they were like fans. It's funny seeing your parents, seeing your family members, seeing you as an entertainer in a famous group, and how they react and respond to you. It's funny. It is. It is. They kind of changed the way they was acting towards me after that, because they saw by that. No, was I singing? No, I wasn't singing lead yet. Still singing background, but I'm straight. I'm flat in the middle. So there's the bass, and there's the baritone, and me tenor in the middle, and there's the female, and there's Tony. So I'm in the middle. You can't miss me. I'm dead in your eyesight. And so if you're looking at this group, you're gonna see me right in the middle. So I could see they were impressed, if that's the word, of seeing their family member up there singing in this famous group as a member. Great feeling. Matter of fact, I'll tell you about the time when my mother came without my brother. She came. That's the first time that any of my family members saw me. We were at the Beacon Theater in New York, and we were doing a show with I think it was the Drifters, the Coasters, and the Del Vikings, and us the Platters. We're the headliners, as always, as most of the time. So my mother came to see us, and I made sure my mother had a not exactly front row, but right in the middle and close to the front, maybe 7 or 8 rows back, but dab in the middle, and I'm right in the middle, right? So before we came on, I was peeking out as the other groups were performing. I would peek out from the side of the stage out to the audience, and I could see her, and I could see her enjoying watching these performances. And I was happy to see her enjoying watching these performances. You have to remember, this is her era. These groups are the groups she grew up with. So this is her music. I was born in 1959. So she was 20 years old when she had me in 1959. So she grew up like 55, 54, 55, 56, 57. She was a teenager, and she grew up with these groups. So these are groups, and they had, the Platters had hit records back then. So of course she was a fan of these groups. And Drifters, the Coasters, the Del Vikings, they all had hit records. So she knew all these songs. So you could see her really enjoying the times that she was there. So now it's our time to come out. My mother, my mom, funny. So we come out and shows get started. We in the groove, start doing our thing. So after the first song, before so when the music stopped after the first song and we talking, get ready to start the second song, my mother stands up and yells out, "That's my son Teddy right there in the middle. That's my son. That's my son." She looking at the audience. "That's my son." I'm like, "Man, sit down, sit down. You embarrassing me, man." But I understood. She was like, "Wow, that's my son up there," you know. And I was embarrassed, but I was happy and I was proud that I actually did something like that. Every child will want to have a moment in life where the parent is proud of what you achieved. Every child, I'm sure, you ask any child, they would love for a moment like that to happen in any field or endeavor that they're challenging themselves to or trying to achieve. And not ever believing or thinking that that ever was going to happen to me in music, considering the odds of me making it in the music business, coming from where I came from, getting these opportunities and these breaks. It's like a once in a million chance. It's like hitting a lottery, for a lot of people, especially at my age, because I was only 22 years old when I joined the group in 82, and everybody else was like 20, 25, 30, 40 years older than me. The youngest person closer to my age in the Platters was at least 20 years older than me. So if I'm 22, he was like 40 something, right? And so I'm like a fish out of water. So this is all brand spanking new to me. You know what I'm saying? Exciting. And I had so much fun being a member of the Platters. I had so much fun just traveling around. I think more than anything else, the touring and going to different cities, different countries, meeting all kind of people, and everybody showing you love because your position in life at that time. It's beyond the word. You can't even really find the words to describe that. It's undescribable, kind of, to tell you what I was feeling like. It's almost like, man, I gotta pinch myself. And this, am I dreaming? Is this really happening? I found myself saying that a few times while being a member. I remember the first time I went to Japan. Oh my God, that was a pinch yourself experience. I'm in freaking Japan. Wow, never, ever, 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 ever would have imagined for any reason being in Japan. And the funny thing is, a few years later in the 90s, Japan was my home for 10 years. 10 years I lived in Japan. That's after I left the Platters. 10 years I lived in Japan performing as an entertainer because of my connections of being a member of the Platters. 10 years. And yes, I learned to speak Japanese. Boku wa 20 gurai Nihon sunde imashita. So I just said in Japanese that I lived in Japan for about 10 years. I'm surprised I can still remember some Japanese because this is 2023. I left Japan like, 2001 or something like that? So it's over 20 years. And I would think if you don't use these languages, you're gonna lose them or forget them. Because I don't speak Japanese on a regular basis. I spoke Japanese every day living there because you have to with certain people. But I spoke some Japanese every day. I didn't have to speak Japanese. A lot of Japanese because a lot of Japanese people knew English and they preferred me speaking English because they wanted to learn English from me. I want to learn Japanese. They want to learn English. So they don't want me to speak Japanese to them. They want me to speak in English so they can learn English. Funny, huh? But I'm gonna do a whole series after I finish talking about the Platters and my time being a member of the Platters. I'm gonna do a whole series of my life as an entertainer because of me being a member of the Platters and what happened to me after I left the Platters. Oh, those were the best times of my life because I was actually performing as Teddy Fame and not as Teddy Fame, a member of the Platters. So I got stories, some great stories about that time that I'm looking forward to talk about. So, is there anything else to add to this? I don't think. No, I don't think there's much more I need to add to this. There's not much more to talk about. It was great shows that my family came to see me. Um, Great memories. I'll cherish those memories for the rest of my life.